Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. I am Rick, and I'm joined with my roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
And we have many things that you can follow us on. But first, we would always appreciate it if you consider liking this video and subscribing. It really helps out all of our fan. And we have a Bookstagram and a Book Talk. And we have a defunct email that is still technically open at romantasyroundtable@gmail.com. Just for love of someone send me an email. Anybody. And just say hi. I don't even care. You don't have to talk about a book. Just tell me how you're doing. And I think that's it, right?
I think that's it.
Those are all the things. So we just passed Thanksgiving. How was your guys' Thanksgiving?
In my household, we celebrate Hanksgiving, which is where we make side dishes and steak and watch Tom Hanks movies, and it was lovely.
What'd you watch?
We watched Catch Me If You Can and The Terminal, which I got to tell you are like two of the three we watch every year. And we planned on watching more, but then we've watched like a lot of sports this weekend, and we've also like done stuff this weekend. Like we've been like out in the world.
Oh
yesterday.
yeah, I went the opposite direction of that. I tried to not leave my house for as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we always do like Small Business Saturday. And so like yesterday we donated a bunch of stuff to our favorite place to donate things, which is Big Reuse. Shouts out Big Reuse. They take literally everything. If you have extra craft supplies, if you have paint, if you have lumber, they will take it. And so I donated a bunch of stuff to them. And then we walked to Park Slope and we got drinks and we bought things. And I spent $100 at the Ripped Bodice and got a free tote bag.
Nice.
It's a nice tote bag, too.
I like to think of it as you spend $100 at tote bag and got some free stuff from Ripped Bodice.
Exactly.
Girl math.
Mm-hmm.
Which then also makes everything free. Girl math. What'd you do, Kimberly?
I had a super quiet Thanksgiving, which was really lovely. It was just me and Bartholomew and a fridge full of food that I didn't end up cooking.
Nice.
Because I wasn't hungry. So today I'm actually going to have to cook some of it because I have so much produce in my fridge. I have at least 4 pounds of cut up butternut squash. I have a 7-pound head of green cabbage. I have so much produce. I also need to look up how to freeze fresh produce because I'm one person. I'm not going to be able to eat all that. So, but it's been good. I had made myself a list of things I wanted to do this week to be productive, and the only thing I have left that I haven't done on that list is to wash sheets and towels.
All right.
Nice.
So I'm in like a good spot. Rick, have you taken off that onesie in the last week?
I don't know if it's. I'm not. I don't need to. Like, I'm bound by law to keep it on, as long as possible.
He's like a cartoon character from a TV show. He just wears the same thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was very chill. Again, I tried not to leave the house as much as possible. The only time I've left was yesterday morning to get some coffee beans, and that's it. That is the only time I've ever left this house.
Ever.
I wish, but since Wednesday, since Tuesday night, I've played a lot of Arc Raiders. The new Fortnite season dropped, which we were playing last night. We got our first dub of the season, which doesn't happen on day one. The sweats are out hard on day one, and we got 2 wins, which is actually pretty crazy.
Mazel.
Yeah. That's it. Played a lot of video games, read some books, started a new book. But you know a book I didn't start, because we had already been reading it, Brimstone.
And you finished it already, is Brimstone.
I did finish it already. The cat's out of the bag. And the cat's out of the bag and the silver spoon. Right?
Almost.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
All right.
Shall we?
Yes.
This episode is about Brimstone, chapters 13 through 25. That means we all stopped reading when we saw 26, correct?
You know, when you just said shall we, I had a genius idea. I've noticed right now that you say that every time that we start our notes, and I really and I really think we need a shirt that says shall we with a book.
That's fun. I actually had no idea that I say that every time.
You do.
This is the thing that students have told me a lot over the years, that I have catchphrases I'm not even aware of.
So I think we need a Romantasy Roundtable shall we with a book open and a glass of wine next to it. Book shirt.
I love that for us. I was actually making. I was coming for Kim. That's what I was.
Go ahead.
Because Kim read chapter 26.
Oh, I did. That's true.
And Rick read the book.
I did.
So I'm the only one who did it correctly.
Mine was unintentional. I was just reading and didn't even realize that the next chapter started.
Yeah.
Sometimes happens.
That happens.
I haven't been excited for a book in close to 20 years, so I'm reading the whole damn thing.
You've been excited for so many books this year.
Yeah, but like a new release of a book. I genuinely think the last new release of a book that I've been actually excited for was Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, that's just because we were like a few months late to Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
true.
We would have been. Like, we were like powering through Fourth Wing to get to Onyx Storm.
Yeah.
But this is like, yeah, you're right. The book came out and you wanted to read it. I get it.
All right.
All right. Chapter 13 is from Kingfisher's point of view. Our notes today are from ChatGPT. Fisher and Carrion blast out of the Quicksilver into a full-blown ambush, but Fisher blankets the entire Hall of Mirrors in darkness, letting the human guardians accidentally slaughter each other while he drags a panicking Carrion to safety. Once they escape the palace, Fisher literally throws Carrion out a window and uses smoke magic nets to break their fall, crashing straight through a poor woman's bread cart before glamoring themselves human to blend in. After some sharp, tense banter and Fisher getting irrationally irritated about Carrion being Saeris' friend, Carrion admits he owns Brigand's Bank? Brigands? Bridget's Bank, and plans to steal their own stolen silver. He drags Fisher to an old tavern haunt to meet a vault breaker, but when Carrion spots him and yells, the man runs because he recognized Fisher and bolted in terror.
Why did he recognize Fisher?
Were the wanted ads up yet?
No, that was after he broke the
because
power.
The demon told him about it?
Maybe.
Probably that.
Look, I'd like to go on the... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just assumed that he recognized that he was Fae and not human.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And so that's why, because clearly he's had interactions with demons and other beings. So...
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to go on the record and say that there are, as everyone knows, a lot of like editing errors in this book that I've seen. I don't really care. I've learned that I'm a vibe reader, so I don't give a shit.
We don't know if there are editing errors in the print version.
Correct.
But there are many editing errors in the digital version that we have. It's possible that they'll fix them.
A lot of people have been saying this seems to be the biggest complaint about the book, and people can't seem to get over it. I don't care, but this one, I am trying to remember. I'm like, oh wait, why did he look at him and be afraid of him? It doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, I don't think they tell us.
Yeah.
Which might not be an editing error. It might just be B. It might just be.
Yeah. So this is the start of just like some fun nonsense stuff between Carrion and Kingfisher, and I love it. And the only note I took for this chapter was like, you read it, like he threw Carrion out of a window, but like while he's falling, Carrion is like, and I picture him in my head, he's like, "Fuck you, Fisher." Like,
yeah, it's really good. This book contains this chapter contains so far the only, in my opinion, annoying word in this book. There are a lot of annoying words in the From Blood and Ash series. But in this chapter, because there are two suns in this land, they say sun's light instead of sunlight. Hated it.
I didn't even clock that.
Well, I read it as sun slight. And I was like, what's a sun slight? And then it like hit me the second time they said it. And I was like, nope, hate it. Don't hate it as much as Heartmates, but hate it.
Yeah, Heartmates is top worst.
Yeah, for sure. Chapter 14?
Yes.
Is from Saeris' point of view. Saeris navigates the hostile blood court with Tal, all while receiving horrifying updates about the spread of the rot across Evelia. Tal brings her to the library to meet Alget.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. Alget.
Who is the creepy, all-knowing keeper of records, one of the lords, who immediately senses Saeris' hunger for knowledge, for home, for Fisher, and demands literal blood as payment. After Saeris feeds the cat godspawn Guru, Far too enthusiastically, Alget retrieves a book on alchemy, revealing that Belicon never managed to destroy all the records of her people. But before Saeris can learn more, a rogue vampire attacks her in the stacks. She knees him in the balls, stabs him with Fisher's silver-tipped dagger, and wins, only for her alchemist magic to surge out of control. The chapter ends with Saeris accidentally blowing a 20-foot hole in the side of the library with a massive flash of white-blue power. Something cool happens here, and that is that there's these little birds in the library. They're called stargazers, and they're made out of like paper. And they talk about how like once upon a time, somebody just like folded a bird out of paper and enchanted it. And these birds like took on a life of their own and were able to like reproduce and all of those things. So, it's like, well, are they real or are they not real? And somebody, I didn't write down who, says, aren't we just the same, made from the same material as the sea and the dirt and the sky, folded from scraps of the gods and entrusted with a spark of magic that makes us real? And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, the stargazers are very cool. I have a lot of notes for this chapter, I guess.
Oh, great. I have almost no notes for anything,
So
I never had it.
And as I said, yes, I've read the book, but I am playing by the rules that I created, which is don't go ahead, take good notes, Rick, so that you can read directly from the notes and not cheat.
That's true. If you're going to read ahead, here are my 2 rules. Number 1, don't cheat on the pod. And number 2, be honest about it, which you have come around to doing.
Kim. So, man, I
flipped. Reading chapter 26 literally immediately. She was like, guys, I have a confession to make. I read chapter 26.
I outed myself way quicker. Just so you know. So I flip-flop. I'm flip-flopping so hard. I think back here, I'm like, okay, now I think Tal's bad again. I think he's bad. I think he has motive. He hated Malcolm with a passion, right? And he can use Saeris as a puppet. So that's where my mind is at right now. I think he might try to frame it as the blood court doesn't want her, and he can easily just swoop in and be like, I got you, fam. I've been here this whole time. You want Malcolm? I'm Malcolm 2.0, right? I said if he didn't save her, then the crown will be up for grabs, right? Which would just cause like a lot of tension, and it would be easier for him to just have someone there that he can make take the blame and then jump in. They call Saeris something, I don't know if it's going to come up later in the book, but they call her a name breaker. I think Alget calls her that. So I wrote that down. I was like, that's interesting. The cat Harumphs, Guru Harumphs, which I loved.
I'm into Guru, man. I like Guru.
Yep. And then it said someone tried to kill her. That's what we got.
We love a cat sidekick.
Or
a cat side character. Yes, yeah. I actually do. It's true.
Onyx is my favorite character in the book, though.
I liked that she was required to feed the cat in order for Algen to go find the book for her. And then she like secretly fed him again. Yeah. And the being was like, why did you do that? Now he's like going to be completely incorrigible and just want more all the time.
Literally all of our animals.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to read up to?
Through 25.
Oh, good. Okay. I have an important note that I have to add. All right. I'm good.
Okay. Chapter 15 is from Kingfisher's point of view. Carrion corners the vault breaker Vorath Shaw, who immediately throws Eric under the bus and insists he can show them where the stolen silver is, clearly terrified of Fisher, but suspiciously unfazed by Carrion. Fisher's instincts ping hard, but he allows Vorath to lead them through the crowded, impoverished third ward and into a hidden door inside the bell tower. As they climb, Fisher notices a fey skeleton, and that heavy, awful sense of wrongness grows. At the top, as soon as Carrion crosses the threshold, he's caught in an ancient alchemerian
Ooh, that word's not real, and I don't like it. I don't think that word's real. I think she made that up.
He's caught in a demon trap, which, as we all know, was invented by the television show Supernatural. And Vorath gleefully reveals he's been serving something hungry. The runes ignite, the humming becomes a roar, and Fisher identifies their doom. Joshin, Lord of the Desert, waking beneath the room, along with what sounds like 1,000,000 fucking scorpions. Guys, the villain in this chapter are 1,000,000 fucking scorpions named Josh. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that we're getting a demon. Did I write it in this chapter? I think I wrote it later, but I'm gonna say something that I at least thought. So, what I like that this book does is that there are demons, but there's just like a demon, right? Like when they talk about the demons, they're not like all of these demons. It's just like this one, and then this one, and then this one. I guess usually when I think of demons in books that we read, maybe like Phantasma, it's just like ghouls and a million of them. But like this is the demon named Joshin. So I really like that.
Guys, I can't deal with the fact that his name is Josh. What did I text you guys? I was like, Josh is not the villain. Josh is like the protagonist grumpy sidekick at best. Like Josh is like he's not even your Jewish summer camp crush. He wants to be.
Josh is the guy who's really into BDSM and
No. Absolutely
did we not read that same book, Kim?
Oh, Josh is the protagonist in Lights Out?
Yes.
That's not his name.
Okay, it's not his name.
I read this book 2 days ago, and I already have no idea what his name is.
It's not his name, it's fine.
I was going to say, Josh is my college boyfriend who now lives next door to my best friend. And
his name is Josh Hammond.
No, I know. I mean, I read the book. I'm aware.
Not your college boyfriend. Josh Hammond is the character in Lights Out.
Yeah.
You know, I was just reading on vibes, right, Rick?
Yep.
You know, we don't care about any of the details.
Kim skipped the names and went straight to the sex.
Honestly, if you ask me what the male main character in any of the books I read this weekend was, I'm not sure I could tell you.
So I do have other notes in this. There are only a couple. The first one I think is, and I don't know if it's going to happen in this book or at the end of the series, I wrote that the people in Zilverin are going to rise up and fight Madra. This is basically what happened in Mistborn. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Right, we're both mentally singing Hamilton.
And I wrote, why do we trust anyone? Why do we trust anybody? I don't understand.
Sorry, can I make just like a minute Hamilton tangent?
Of course.
Sure.
Okay, so Anthony Ramos, who famously plays Lawrence and Philip in the original cast of Hamilton, and also plays Usnavi in the movie version of Into the Heights. Anthony Ramos sang the national anthem at the Inter Miami NYCFC game last night in a fucking Inter Miami jersey. Anthony Ramos, step up. Where are you from? Where are you from?
What are you doing?
From Bushwick. You're from Bushwick, Anthony. And I'm just saying, you wore the jersey of the team that won. And I'm just wondering if you had repped your hometown, who would have won? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Let's go, Anthony.
He was the surprise guest at a Ben Rector concert that I went to like 3 or 4 years ago.
Random.
But the crowd lost their shit.
Yeah, no, I love him, actually. I really do like him. I was just really disappointed to see him in a Miami jersey. He did a great job with the national anthem in that game. Sucked, but it's fine because I'm a Vancouver fan now because I love Thomas Mueller and actually always have.
Anthony Ramos, traitor to New York City.
Traitor to New York City. Rose Lavelle was there and was not wearing anybody's colors, which I appreciated.
Me too.
Even though she should have been wearing ours.
Obviously.
Because she plays for Gotham. It's fine. Anyway.
Okay, I will back to the chapter. I'm going with Rick on this one, and that this is one of those scenes where I was like, how have these two beings lived for over 1,000 years when you just have like no common sense? Because they're walking up these stairs being like, oh, clearly this doesn't feel right. Clearly this guy is like tricking us somehow, and yet here we go, just like walking into it. And I asked in my head, Fisher, Carrion, how have you made it this long in life?
Someone doesn't know what a magnet is. Which character was that?
Oh, the other one. Eric.
Okay, no, the Vorath or whatever was like, what's a magnet?
Vorath?
Oh, because he was like, he needs to open the door with magic.
The Vorath?
And it's not magic, it's a magnet. Vorath is
yeah.
They don't actually meet Eric.
Oh, I thought Eric was the right, okay, yeah. I thought Eric was the guy that they're with. It's Vorath, yeah. He doesn't know what a magnet is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so Eric's going to show up later.
And you're saying Eric, and all I can think is Eric.
We love Eric. All right, chapter 16. Saeris is dragged back into chaos at the palace, accused by Aldit of causing havoc and losing the cat shadow creature Guru after accidentally blowing a hole in the library wall. She's burned, bleeding, exhausted, and still forced to deal with a furious keeper of records, while a bound and gagged vampire assassin with gold fangs, snake pupils, very bitey, sits chained to a chair with Fisher's silver belt. When Saeris ungags him, he immediately tries to threaten her until he sees Fisher's dagger, realizes whose blade she carries, and becomes unhinged with grief and fury, assuming that she murdered Kingfisher. She reveals her alchemist runes, shocking him into silence just as Lorith arrives and identifies the attacker as Foley, who's one of the wolves. And he's a vampire, but he's not bound to court laws. He ends with Foley whispering a shattered line, "A wolf never becomes a leech," as Lorith calls him brother. So basically, Foley was one of Fisher's wolves. He fought with them at the Aegean Gate, and he died. And
he fell off on Mumshikrai.
Yeah, and so he was similar to Saeris, like given the choice by Tal to either die or become a vampire, and he became a vampire, but he didn't swear loyalty to the vampire court, and so he's just like chilling there, bound to no one.
I like that he's back. I didn't read it yet. I don't like how Callie puts this in the bonus chapters, because if you didn't read the bonus chapters, you'd have no idea who he was, for the most part. I mean, true. They kind of soft referenced him in the beginning of this book, but like if you didn't read the bonus chapters, you lose a lot. And it's almost like not important. So I don't like that she did that. She did another thing at the end of this book, which I actually haven't read yet. I'll do that today. So that's annoying, but I like that he's back. And this is now where I start flip-flopping the other way. My notes come later. But I'm like, oh, wait, is Tal good? Is Foley bad? So, but I do like that he's back. I do like that we have this new character that was part of the Wolves, and he's been gone for a long time. So I'm interested to see what the reunion is going to look like. So that was fun.
In the first set of chapters of this book, I thought that Foley was going to be bad. I thought maybe he was like the being who was creating the new kind of feeders.
Yeah.
But then we're introduced to him, and he's basically been like hiding out for hundreds of years in the library, and refusing to feed, so like barely staying alive. And yeah, just sort of being a recluse and a sad sack of a vampire who doesn't want to be a vampire.
Yeah, I felt similarly. And at this point I was like, maybe like 2 chapters later when he starts like talking about alchemy, I like that was the moment where I was like, all right, he's just like traumatized and lonely. So I think it's going to like be a process to get him back up to speed with the Found family. But I don't think he's bad. I'm not sure about Tal, man. He's giving me Lando Calrissian, like where he is both good and bad consistently.
My thing with Tal, go ahead.
I was just going to complain about the name Foley again, like I did last time also. Because Foley feels like it should be the name of my best friend Sarah's other neighbor. Josh on one side and Foley on the other. It's just not, it's not a badass vampire name.
Guys, the year that I'm having, a Foley is a type of catheter. And so all I can think about is a Foley cath. And I don't want to be thinking about catheters ever, really. But particularly not when I'm reading. Sorry, now you have to think about it too.
Kingfisher, Lorith, Danya,
Saeris Bane,
and Foley.
Another Hamilton reference.
Oh,
and
Lord.
Peggy. Chapter 17, a million fucking scorpions named Josh swarm Fisher and Carrion in a full body nightmare of venom and stinging agony as Vorath cackles and watches. Carrion is glued into the Alchemirian demon trap and vanishes beneath the tide of stingers, while Fisher, seriously considering running, refuses to abandon him and steps into the trap where the demon begins rebuilding itself out of four fused scorpions. So like instead of being a million fucking scorpions named Josh, Josh is made of a million fucking scorpions. As Fisher punches at the sealed wall to let in sunlight, Josh unleashes visions meant to break him, including a cruel hallucination of his mother trying to shame him. Hated that. Like loved it in the book, but like hated it emotionally.
Yeah.
But Fisher uses his own blood to draw a break rune, shattering the barrier and flooding the tower with searing twin sunlight or sun's light that melts the demon's form. Carrion manages to kill Vorath in a brutal flight, but Fisher gets stabbed by Josh's massive stinger as the demon tries to escape into the city, leading Fisher to strike a bargain, then outsmart the demon before incinerating it. Something I think is really interesting, and I'll let you guys talk about how he actually outsmarted the demon. But something I thought was really interesting is Fisher's talking about like how he knows so much about the different kinds of demons. And it's basically because his mom did like demon training with him. So his mom like introduced him to all the demons and what their weaknesses were and how to defeat them. And I think especially because we know his mom was a seer, an oracle, you have to think that his mom did that intentionally. And I just think that's a really cool, like she kind of snuck it in as like, and every night we're going to learn about this demon and what do you do to destroy them. And like, I just think that's a cool, I love when like, I wish I knew how to describe what I'm trying to say. This is like a thing that a parent would do. But it's within the lore of the world. And so I think that's really cool how it's both very real and also really fantastic. And so I think that's really cool.
No, I did like that too. I forgot about that until you brought it up, but that was very cool. I like that. That I liked because it wasn't just like, I know you. It's like, I know you and here's why I know about you and how to defeat you. And it wasn't like... Some things in Lights Out were just very coincidental. Like, oh, of course this is going to happen, right? Just pushes the story further along. This, yeah, obviously this was coincidental, but it had a backstory to it. I was confused at this chapter though.
I don't think it's coincidental because his mom was an oracle.
Well, right, right, yeah, okay, yes, I'm wrong.
But I guess it could have been, but they made it so it's not. I guess is what you're saying.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. It could have just been like, oh, I know how to defeat you, but it's I know how to defeat you because.
Yeah.
I was confused in this chapter. I thought a lot was happening with the fight. So I wasn't really sure what was going on. I understood that Fisher was punching the wall, and then he made this rune. And my question is, has anyone ever used a rune before? I don't remember them ever referencing runes, period. Even in the first book.
Well, they're on her arms.
Sure, but has anyone used it for magic?
The ones on her arms are magic.
But has she done anything with them?
Like one of them is specifically about Quicksilver, and we learn about this more as we get into later chapters here. And Talena, when she was talking about the runes, described that all of them had various purposes.
You're right that we haven't like experienced like in Fourth Wing, like where they're like making the runes and we haven't seen that yet. You're right.
Right. So this is that coincidental thing I guess I meant, where it's like nowhere even in the first book was like, hey, look, if I make this rune on this, you'll get healed.
This felt straight Supernatural, like the TV show to me. The rune, making it in blood, tricking the demon, like this was some Sam and Dean fan service for me.
Again, I didn't hate it. I was just confused. So then they got the venom.
I didn't even clock it because we read Fourth Wing so recently and they use runes so much. So I was just like, oh yeah, of course, runes. But you're right. They didn't go to rune making class first.
Yeah, maybe Callie just assumed that we'd all read Fourth Wing, and so we'd be up to speed.
So he tricked the demon basically by pulling some Fey oath bullshit, where he was like, all right, look, I won't kill you. Just do everything I want. And he's like, the demon's like, fine, yes. And then he kills him, except for one scorpion.
One scorpion named Josh.
And he's like, you lied to me. He's like, you didn't. You're not dead. I'm not going to kill you. It's like, you're just now trapped in my little shoebox.
Right. It's one scorpion and he has him trapped. This is so good.
Yeah.
And this is the shit I want to see from Faye. Like this is so like trickstery. Like it's fun.
Yeah, no, it was good. I liked it a lot. And then I was confused, but I was like, so they got the venom? They did get the venom. They got the venom they needed.
Right. I also didn't. I was like, when did they get the venom?
Right. It was just I thought it was a confusing chapter. There's a plane. Someone's got a plane.
Where's it going?
I don't know. It's going to
from this angle, probably LaGuardia.
Wherever it is that Feyre lives. I forgot. Where does she live?
Valaris?
There it is. Actually, I wasn't even thinking of Valaris. What's the
name? Night Court?
That was the name of the land, the earth there. There's a Prythian. That's what it is. Yeah, thank you. It's going to Prythian.
Thank you, because I'm going to start a Court of the Christmas special today.
And we're so excited. Wait. Oh, yeah.
Already?
You're allowed to read 2 different books at the same time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I have the audiobook from Libby, so it's my new audiobook.
All right.
The graphic audio. This is me telling you I didn't take notes again until chapter 22.
I only have a sentence for this chapter and the next chapter.
All right, chapter 18. Back in the palace, Lorith faces down Foley, the vampire wolf. He's not a vampire wolf hybrid. He's a vampire. But he is formerly one of the wolves who are not actually wolves. Anyway, they reveal the two are brothers from the Lupo Proelia and that Foley once fought beside Fisher. Alget dumps the alchemy tome into Saeris' hands and bans her from the library after dark. She's basically only allowed to be in the library for like a day, and not before Foley spirals into disbelief that Fisher would ever willingly give someone his dagger until Lorith bluntly confirms that Saeris...
That's right, Saeris sane.
Saeris Sane is Fisher's mate. No, Saeris is Fisher's mate. Foley is equal parts shocked, wary, and resentful, but once Saeris reveals her alchemist runes, he becomes intensely serious, explaining that he isolated himself because vampirism was forced on him. When Lorith presses for help, Foley agrees to teach Saeris, but only after she actually rests, since alchemists require sleep to stabilize power. Saeris grudgingly accepts and prepares to return the next day. Yeah, so I guess Foley's family, he's descended from alchemists, so he like knows things, and also he's lived in the library alone for 100 years, so he's read a lot of books. This is one of those like, oh, how convenient things, but I like that for him. He's got a niche. Yeah, I also really love that like the reason she's spontaneously combusting is because she's tired.
I mean,
I've never related to a fantasy character more in my life. It's like you have to take a fucking nap, Saeris fan.
I was going back 2 chapters because you reminded me of her exploding. I was a little confused that when she made that thing explode also. I thought she just made it disappear, but when you reread it, I was like, oh, she made it explode.
Oh, like a hole in the wall?
Yeah. I thought it just disappeared, but I guess it disappeared because of an explosion. Yeah, so...
And in this chapter, they've turned it into a window already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Foley's cool for now. I flip-flop him again in a little bit. I find it interesting how he's been gone for like 1,000 years, but still genuinely cares about Fisher. Go ahead.
Has it been 1,000 years? I thought it had only been 100.
100, 1,000, whatever. No, it couldn't have been 100.
It's longer than that. It's like 500, I think. Because it's longer than Fisher was in the...
Right.
Oh, in my head, Fisher, like the gate and the labyrinth happen close together, but you're right. They're like several hundred years apart.
Yeah. All right. So let's say 500 years. We'll be in the middle. So I find it interesting how Foley has been gone for 500 years, but still genuinely cares about the wolves. So, he's like... I guess he's oath-bound to them. I don't know if he's oath-bound to them, but he's just, when you're a wolf for life or whatever. So
when
that was cool.
You're a jet all the way. you know?
Yeah, hate that one. I don't like that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
That one, the song, or that one, the musical?
Yeah, I don't like the movie.
Or that one, the Jets?
The
Or
whole
that one, the football team, the Jets?
that too. All of the Jets I hate. But the one where they snap their fingers and they dance with the knives, I don't like that one.
Again, you don't like the song or you don't like the musical?
The whole thing.
The musical.
Yeah. It's boring.
Okay. Well, our mutual son, Noah, you're going to have to go say that to him because it's his
It's
favorite
his
musical.
favorite.
Really?
He told us that this week.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Also, it's Romeo and Juliet.
Sure.
I also have now decided that anytime one of us is having big feels in the office, I'm going to say to you, go take a fucking nap. This is what we need. Naps
love
at
that.
work.
I think it's great. All right. Chapter 19. I like desperately need water, but I'm going to keep going. All right, chapter 19. Fisher and Carrion crawl into Vorath's wrecked shop, both fighting venom-induced hallucinations as Fisher brews an anti-venom using his own blood and the demon's poison. While both relive visions of their deepest wounds, they choke down the mixture and convulse for an hour before staggering to Carrion's apartment. There, Fisher, still raw from jealousy, demands to know whether Carrion is in love with Saeris, and Carrion confesses he loves her deeply but not romantically. His centuries of grief have no space for new love. This revelation stuns Fisher, whose relief is palpable and very badly hidden. This chapter's kind of short, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot happens.
And it just makes us love Carrion that much more.
I love him.
He's like, yeah, I do love her. She's really awesome.
I feel
But like, no, not like that, dude. You're fine.
we've seen a lot of, like, Rick showed me a post that was like, these are the people who could play Carrion Swift in a movie. And Rick was basically like, fuck all of these guys. And I was like, there is only one option for who can play Carrion Swift in a movie, and it's Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
I will accept no substitutions. There's only Jonathan Bailey. That's it.
And then I sent y'all a reel that was just Jonathan Bailey as Carrion Swift. So 110% agree. And we all know Jonathan Bailey truly is the people's person.
Yes. Sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Gender
Bailey.
doesn't matter. He is on everybody's bingo card.
That's correct.
This had like that buddy cop comedy moment for me. I just have it in my head where, you know, they just get out of the really dangerous situation and they take the medicine. It's like, okay, I think we're gonna feel bad, and maybe like, and then they just drop to the floor and they're like spasming for like an hour.
And then they like crawl back to Carrion's apartment.
Yeah.
Through their foamy mouths.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Love it. All right. Chapter 20. Saeris falls asleep and immediately enters a vivid dreamscape.
That's
A snowy wood.
pause. This is 10 points for Kim. She called us in the last
What?
episode.
Oh, the dream soup?
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
that. They were going to meet the dreams.
I do want you guys to know that like I've asked ChatGPT to include when there's soup and call it soup, but it has interpreted that as like, what is the soup in every chapter? So I've been ignoring it, but I will read it for this chapter. Soup alert. The entire chapter is soup.
Yeah.
It is soup incarnate. If soup could ascend into godhood, this would be the chapter.
Yeah.
And that's correct. So, all right. She enters a vivid dreamscape. 10 points for Kim. A snowy woods cottage where Fisher appears shirtless, panicked, and overwhelmed with relief at seeing her. Their reunion is desperate, intimate, and explosive as they test the strange shared dream connection and confirm that it's mutual. Then they proceed to have one of the most intense mate bond sex scenes in recent romantasy. Afterward, curled up by the fire with chaotic onyx popping in, they share truths about their past. Fisher admits his love, and Saeris confesses her fears about her power. They end the night discussing Foley, Malcolm, Tal, and the devastating reveal that Tal betrayed Everlane for love of Zovina.
And Zovina is one of the, I forget what they call them, the leaders or whatever of the court, of the blood court. There's
The Lords.
The Lords, yeah. There's 5 lords for the five-pointed star. She's one of them.
And so is he,
Who?
Tal.
Oh, yes. He is one also.
And so is old crone in the
August, yep.
library. And so is Weird Monster that we're going to hang out with. And so is the guy that Saeris killed a few chapters ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's 5.
We got all 5. I'm like a boss.
I call him the spaghetti monster in my head, by the way. He's
Correct.
the spaghetti monster.
I feel like this chapter was forced soup. Like, remember how last time I was like, they're apart. There's going to be no soup. And I feel like Callie was like, I got to give the people what they want.
Yes.
Let's put them in a dream. So I just thought she just had to figure out a way to do it.
I wholeheartedly agree. I liked it.
No, I liked it too.
Soup.
Yeah.
But I agree. I was like, oh, all right.
Right. That's
It
exactly.
felt like whatever the first or second chapter where, Onyx is running back to them across the desert.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Right. This is just pure fan service of like, we're partway through a book and we need soup. Let's figure it out.
Let's just have them dream. Why not? There was also post soup. There was soup after the soup.
Oh, they had soup.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, they had stew.
Yeah. I'll meet in the middle. It's soup. Let's see. I had the notes of Tal was engaged to Everlane. So what did I put? I said he was engaged to Everlane and went to Malcolm for Zelvana. And I said I don't believe it. I don't remember why I said I don't believe it. But I just said I do think he's good now. At this point, I think Tal is good. So like I don't believe this is what it is. I don't believe he necessarily left the group for Zelvana, even though they directly say it. I think there's an ulterior motive that we don't know yet. Like he's trying to take down Malcolm or something. I don't know.
I like that you're giving us chapter by chapter updates about whether you thought Tal was good or bad.
Yes, I told you I flip-flop so much. And this is where I go, Foley's bad. Foley's bad, and I say Tal has done good things for a very, very, very long time. He has helped them in the last book. He's helped them throughout this entire book, right? I say he's Reese, right? He's with Malcolm because he has to be, but he's doing it for like good. He's got like good reasons behind it. And then I say maybe Foley, in his isolation, did go mad. And he like wants revenge on the group for not coming to find him. So that's where I'm at with that. And I think that maybe is he blaming them for Morel's death? So that's where I'm currently at. Foley bad, Tal good.
Okay. 21. Fisher wakes healed, every bruise, sting, and break gone because there's like a lot of biting in the soup. There's a lot of biting. She's like, let me bite you so that I can heal your hand. And he's like, no, I need to feel the pain, which is my least favorite microtrope, I think. Anyway, so he's healed. So that's how we know the dream was real. Leaving him tattooed and smelling blatantly of sex. Oh, she like tattoos his leg with a dagger. I liked that. Anyway, Carrion, however, wakes up with venom hive welts and is furious that Fisher got magically rejuvenated while he hallucinated, turning into a goat. While changing, Fisher discovers Carrion's room plastered with drawings. His parents, Evelia, landscapes, and mythic creatures, years of a boy starving for a homeland he never knew. Rather than mock him, Fisher warmly tells him to keep the Winter Palace sketch and bring it home someday.
Kim?
I have so much background noise happening right now, y'all. So I apologize. I'm like trying to close the window because there's just like a flight happening every other minute, and there's yard work, and there were sirens. So
good mics take that out.
It's a top 2 busy travel day of the year.
What's the top 1? Day before Thanksgiving?
Wednesday.
Yeah. So my notes for this chapter, since Kim is, I don't want to like not have Kim talk, so I was trying to get you in there, but you have planes. So Fisher and Carrion are getting close, which I like. All right, I'm throwing this. I don't know. I say I know that Saeris and Fisher are mates, but I don't know why I'm getting a feeling like he could die.
Like Fisher could die?
Yeah. I don't know. This is just a feeling I have right now. I don't know.
Well, he's not going to die in this book.
I'm just saying in my notes right now, I'm like, why do I feel like he could die?
I have a tangent.
Yeah.
So I was at the Ripped Bodice yesterday, spending $100 on a tote bag and getting a bunch of free books. This woman was asking the bookseller where like a specific book was, and it was in the like everything else section. And she was like, "That's so weird. I thought this was a romance." And the bookseller was like, by our definition, in order for something to be a romance, it has to have a happily ever after, or at least a happy for now. So any book where like that's less clear is going to be in this section. And I was like, that is such a fucking spoiler. And there were a few books in that section that I was like, there are books in that section that are on some of our TBRs.
Oh, wow.
That's all I'm going to say. I will also say they changed the layout of the Ripped Bodice, and I was like, what's happening? But the stickers are no longer, I'm convinced this is why they did it. The stickers are no longer by the checkout. They're like a little further back. And they're like along a wall where it's just stickers. And so I was like, okay, that makes sense, because it's like people are going to take their time with the sticker wall. And if that's backed up to the checkout, that's going to be a problem. So, and it did make me like really search the whole store, because the contemporary is like broken up by other stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought for that. Not me working retail for my entire life. People want the stickers, so you put them in the furthest part of the store, so they have to go through the entire store to find them. However, the opposite of that is stickers are also an impulse buy, so you kind of want them by the register. So
yeah, they're literally in the smack dab dead center of the store now.
Yeah.
I also could see, particularly in a busy place like Ripped Bodice and in Brooklyn, that those are also easy to snag.
That's a good point.
So if you move them further back, then they're probably less likely to walk.
Well, but if you also move them further, again, I've worked retail a long time. If you move them further back, it's easier for like people to like hide and put them away.
Pocket them. Yeah.
So again, both pros and cons to each.
I bought 2 stickers yesterday. One I bought as a gift for somebody because I thought it was one character, and like the minute I left, I was like, I'm an idiot. It's not one character.
Onyx.
It's a different character. But it's fine. I might give it to my sister. I think she likes the book that this character is from. So
I think this is pretty obvious, but I just wrote it down. Carrion's arc is going to be from fun and not caring, banging everyone, to being the king.
I like, that's a trope that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
we're seeing it in Fourth Wing as like Riddick is starting to turn a little bit too and have these more serious notes. And I think that conversation that Carrion and Kingfisher had about how he was like, I actually have like centuries worth of grief. And so we're seeing more of his serious side start to come out too. So I just hope, Amanda, you'll get to this next summer when you read Throne of Glass. But in the first book, Dorian is sort of like the carefree guy. And he becomes less carefree as time goes on, and then he becomes kind of like a sad sack. And so I just don't want Carrion to become a sad sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 22?
Chapter 22. Saeris wakes up proudly sporting bite marks and Fisher's scent, only to have Lorith immediately drag her to staff training before Foley. I thought that bit was funny. Lorith was like, how do you smell like that? And she was like, it was a dream and it was real. And he was like, no further information. During the fight, oh my God, thank you. During the fight, she moves with supernatural precision, her new hybrid body syncing with instinct in a way that shocks even Lorith. In the library, Foley examines her glowing hands and reveals that her rooms form an Alchemirian shield, with the greedy Quicksilver rune awakening first. He warns that forcing her magic will make it rebel. She must learn partnership, not dominance. I loved this. As she leaves, a paper stargazer desperately attacks her for attention, flies out of the library, and dies without its magic, because its magic is bound to the library, leaving Saeris rattled and pocketing its little paper body. I have 2 notes for this chapter. Note number 1, I wish they drew out the runes for us. I want to see them.
That'd be cool.
I want to see the runes. I'm having trouble imagining them. The circle is apparently important, so I wish they drew them out. My second note is Ripped Bird.
Ripped Bird.
But they talk about how the birds like to steal hairs and
I
like
have
make
that.
nests out of them, and that like there's a lot that you can do with a hair. So I thought that was probably like some foreshadowing for later, that something's going to happen with the birds and the hair. But then the bird dies. Rip bird.
Yeah, sad little bird. I said the same thing. I said, "Oh, someone's gonna get someone's hair, like because if the witch, I think if the witches get the hair, they can control them, the person. So I'm like, who's gonna get their hair stolen? Who's gonna like be forced to be bad or something like that?"
They called it witchcraft. I don't necessarily think it needs to be a witch. Like it could just be sort of like magic.
Magic.
So this is where we learn that they were sending letters to Foley, but he never got them. So someone stopped getting the letters to him.
It's like so interesting because Lorith is like, we sent you letters, and Foley is like, no, you didn't. And they're like, okay, obviously we like literally neither of us can lie.
Yeah.
So like, I thought it was really funny how they're like arguing, and it's like, oh no, like something is amok. I just want to clarify that I just said out loud that I really needed water, and Tristan has his headphones in, and so he can't hear me. He's listening to Thursday Murder Club, and then he just showed up with a glass of Prosecco. And I'm just saying that sometimes books are real life and real life is books.
Is this the Kim? Is this the chapter that that had the editing error? Is this where Carrion is in the chapter?
Did you
No,
said,
it was
like, let me know when you're through chapter 20, which was this.
Yeah, so it was earlier, so it was right after Carrion and Kingfisher left that there was a reference to Carrion still being in the Black Box. Yeah, wherever that place is.
Okay.
No, my question in the soup chapter was that he referred to her by a nickname that we had never heard before.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure if that was a typo or if that was, again, sort of foreshadowing something that we didn't know. And this is when Rick decided to be a Rick troll and was like, no, you're wrong about everything. It clearly is just an old Fae word. Like, why do you even care? You're so negative all the time. You can't just read and enjoy it. So that's the Rick trolling.
None of us can just read and enjoy it. We have a podcast.
I can read and enjoy it. Unless I'm reading from Blood and Ash.
That's the feedback I asked for asking a very simple question on what he thought about this.
And I was like, I can't read the book right now. I'm a soccer. And then I was a soccer, and then I was not a soccer. That day I was a soccer. That game went well. And then the next day I was a concert. And then I got to be a book.
And right now you're at chapter 23.
Right now, I'm at chapter 23. Fisher and Carrion track Hayden through Zilverin, finally cornering him, only for Saeris' little brother to immediately throw a knife at Carrion's nipple and accuse Fisher of murdering Saeris. Hayden reveals Madra has circulated propaganda claiming Fisher killed children and slaughtered quote-unquote innocents, sending the city into panic. When Hayden reveals Carrion's beloved caretaker Gracia is dead, the smuggler breaks, and the three make the brutal desert pilgrimage to her funeral pyre. Fisher hugs Carrion through centuries-old grief because it's what Saeris would do. I loved that. Returning to the ward, Guardians ambush them, and Fisher massacres dozens on Cleansing Day. That's the day where they forcibly sterilize a bunch of pubescent women, girls, 14-year-old girls. Yeah. Unleashing shadow knives and magic fueled by rage at what was done to Saeris. My man goes ape shit.
Loses it.
Which I really loved. We could use more Kingfishers in the world.
Yeah.
If more men had that much rage about women's reproductive rights, we would live in a better world. His power then erupts across the entire city, blanketing Zilverin in unnatural darkness. A few things here. Number one, Carrion says, I prefer my women and my men a whole lot prettier than you. And I'm giving myself a fucking gold star for that. Because I've been saying that Carrion Swift is our pansexual
He just
king.
wants it. He doesn't
He
care.
just wants it. He doesn't species, gender.
Just give it to me.
He doesn't care.
The ultimate pansexual.
The ultimate pansexual. Humans could never. All right. He's also really focusing on Fisher is really focusing on how Hayden and Saeris don't really look alike. And I wrote, they don't look alike because they have different dads, you fool. Then I wrote dark. Then I wrote Gracia. And then I wrote, it's supposed to be Madra, but my notes app autocorrected it to Medea.
Nice.
So does Medea know Hayden is Saeris's brother? Because if Medea knows that Hayden is Saeris's brother, I feel like she must know that Saeris and Fisher, like that they're going to come for Hayden. So I'm just like a little confused about like why she's letting him roam free. Is this a trap? Why isn't she holding him? How does she not have him? Like, I just really feel like she should be using him as bait somehow better.
I don't think she knows this is his brother. And if I remember correctly, in the first book, when Carrion first comes to Yobelia, Saeris is like, "What happened to my brother?" He's like, "Don't worry, I put him out of town. He's got an alias. Nobody knows who he is," or something like that.
It doesn't seem like the wards seem like they're neighborhoods, not cities. And so I'm like, if they live in, Crown Heights and they put him in Bushwick, like that's not really good hiding.
I will say they do make a pretty big deal about the fact that Kingfisher doesn't smell him well. And so he's like, "Oh, I forgot how like limited the familial smell is." And so it's like hard to identify Hayden. As we're saying, because, they're only partially related. But also that could be a reason that even if Madra does know that he exists, but she's having trouble finding him because he doesn't look like Saeris and he also doesn't smell like her.
That makes sense.
I would like to read a paragraph because it's probably like my favorite paragraph in the entire book and probably my favorite thing that Carrion Swift ever says in any of the books.
It's high praise. From the Book of Swift, chapter 24, verse 12.
It's very
chapter
simple.
23, verse 12.
It's very simple, Fisher. If you treat me like I'm the court jester, I'll be the court jester. If I'm the laughing stock or the drunk or the idiot, then you're not thinking about who I really am, are you? I survived here for over 1,000 years. Do you really think I'd have been able to do that if I couldn't pull myself out of a fucking hole? If at any point you underestimate me, then I'd say that was your mistake rather than mine, wouldn't you?
Have you ever related to anything more in your life?
No, not at all. I love that so much. Like, that's like, he lets people assume whatever he wants of them, and he just continues to operate at a highly effective level. Like, he's the best. He's the best.
I feel like Rebecca Yarros does this well with Riddick, but I feel like Callie Hart is really nailing it with Carrion. Like, if you've ever known a guy like that, which like Rick is king, that guy. If you've ever known a guy like that, like this is like really accurate. So I feel like Callie's got a bestie somewhere who Rick needs to meet, because he and Rick and Riddick and Carrion and probably some other people in some other books I haven't read need to like go on a vacation together because they deserve it.
All right.
24. There's an epigraph before this chapter about another book, and it's giving Fourth Wing. Saeris forges relics in the Blood Court, trying and failing to form a healthy partnership with the Quicksilver. I liked this, where it's like she's not trying to force, she's trying to learn to work with the Quicksilver instead of like force it to do her will. She accidentally trades a memory away without realizing which one. The Hazrax appears, massive and unsettling, revealing it knows she's been shedding her mind and blood to make relics, and warning that Fisher may need to be wary of new faces, rattling Saeris to her core. It demonstrates terrifying power by lifting Saeris tools and metal into the air, and then demands a yearly favor bargain like the one it had once made with Malcolm. After she accepts, Saeris picks up her completed relic, and her alchemist shield detonates awake inside her. The wall holding back her magic collapses. Power floods through her uncontrolled, enough to destroy the entire court. Her last coherent thought is run. First of all, the Hazrax talks. Didn't know that. I thought he was watched. And as this was happening, like the thing with the memories, I was like, how is she going to bargain 1,000 times? She's going to lose so much of herself. And then the Hazrax said the exact same thing. So maybe I am an ageless creature. Because that does seem really unsustainable. Like, especially with the memories and stuff, like she isn't going to know what all she's losing. If she's losing thousands of pieces of herself, that's not going to work.
No, I agree. I wrote the Hazrax. He gonna be something. What? I don't know, but he's gonna be something important. Not sure.
Likewise, it's hard to tell if it's good or bad. So we have a really ambiguous character here. I thought she did a really good job of making him creepy, though. About the creep vibes, even though I'm like spaghetti monstering over here, which is still kind of how I picture him. But he's a really, really creepy spaghetti monster.
I picture him like, what's that video game character with like the pointy head and the weird face? It's like a 2D. Is it a platformer?
Pyramid Head?
Is that what I'm talking about? Let me Google it.
No, probably not. With the pointy head. What?
No. I'm gonna find it.
Pyramid Head is scary.
Yeah, he is, but that's not who I was thinking of. No, it's not like real like that. It's like drawn.
Tell me more.
Maybe I dreamed it.
Tell me more. Keep going. Keep talking.
I think I'm thinking of like Spy vs. Spy.
Oh, that's really funny.
Who's the bad guy in Spy vs. Spy?
Spy. Spy is the bad guy. It's White Spy and Black Spy. They're the bad guys. It's Looney Tunes.
Okay, maybe I have just hallucinated Spy vs. Spy into a monster.
Okay, next time you can find the prints that you were thinking of.
I think Hazrax is good. I think
Hazrax is in it for Hazrax.
Sort of, but I'm really getting what's his name? Is it the Bone Collector? I'm getting like Bone Collector vibes from him. You
Agreed.
know, where he's just like hanging out, but at the end if there's going to be some world-altering event, and if Hazrax is in it for Hazrax, then Hazrax has to be on the side for good, like the Bone Collector.
Fair.
You know?
I also want to say the book does a pretty good job of making it really clear that Hazrax like has no gender.
Yeah.
And we're like masculinizing him because it's easier, but like Hazrax's pronoun is probably Hazrax.
Hazrax good.
Hazrax good.
Hazrax good.
I think Hazrax in it for Hazrax. Like I think Hazrax is neither good nor bad because Hazrax is older than the universe and like is just doing Hazrax
things.
Yeah.
And also what is morality to Hazrax? Which we talked about before also of just like trying to, hey, we're a gendering Hazrax, and then also trying to ascribe morality to it.
Guys, Tristan's putting up the Christmas tree.
Aw.
I love you.
10 minutes, bud. 10 minutes.
He goes, I'm not decorating it. All right, chapter 25. As Fisher's blackout throws Zilveran into panic, he, Carrion, and Hayden flee through the streets until Hayden guides them into Elroy's forge, where Elroy immediately smacks Fisher with a fire iron for bringing Fae trouble to his door. After a heated argument, Fisher vows he would burn realms before breaking his promise to Saeris to bring Hayden home, finally convincing Elroy to help. But Elroy insists Hayden choose his own path, and the boy decides to... What?
Yeah, he asked Hayden, do you even want to go?
Oh, okay. And then Hayden, sorry, I got confused about who was who. And Hayden decides to leave Zilveran. Elroy then reveals a generational secret, which I'd like to give myself half a point for this. Like, we knew Elroy, there was more to Elroy. His family always knew that Fae existed and were charged with guarding a hidden vault beneath the forge. After descending 1,223 steps, they reach a massive underground cavern containing ancient artifacts, armor, and a, quote, dangerous amount of quicksilver.
But they have been refining from all of the artifacts over the years. So they have created their own Quicksilver pool rather than having it already be there, which I thought was neat.
I thought this is an excellent exact 50% mark of the book.
What do I got? I say, how does Elroy know who Fisher is? Let's see. I say Elroy's protecting a lot of Quicksilver. What's gonna happen? Is someone bad? Is it Elroy? Is Elroy bad? Is Foley bad?
No.
Is Tal bad? Someone's gonna die.
Rick really wants to know who's bad.
Now I'm thinking Hayden's gonna die. I'm wondering if he's gonna be like, I know I'm useless. No one ever needs me, but I can do this thing, and I will sacrifice myself for you.
Yeah, I could see that for him. I also we're really interested in calling Hayden a boy and babying him. He's 20.
Yeah, but he acts like a boy.
I know, but I don't know. I understand that all the other men in this book are 1,000 years old, but when they first, I said this in Quicksilver, when they first started talking about him, I thought he was 16. But he's 20.
But he's written that way. He's really coddled the entire time. I don't know. I know that he's 20, but even in the first book, he's can't be trusted. He can't hold down a job. He's gambling.
Yeah. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm annoyed about it because I want him to grow up.
Right.
Because Saeris has had to be an adult since she was a child, and Hayden is an adult and is allowed to be a child. I guess that's the point. But nobody seems mad about it, and I'm mad about it for her. It's giving eldest daughter.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hayden is Nesta and Elaine. He's just been coddled and taken care of, but could have his moment to have his glow up and to come into his own. I had another thing that I was going to say and I forgot. So Rick, go.
There was this. I'm taking this back to when they first got to Zilverin. I just remembered something funny. I think it's right in the beginning when they're running away from the guards, and after, right before Fisher throws Carrion out of the window, they're running, and Carrion's "Ow! Something hit me really hard in the arm. Fisher, did you see that?" He's "Yeah, I fucking punched you." So that was it. But this is a great stopping point.
I remember my thought. I don't think Hayden's gonna die, and I've had this thought in other books also of she's already lost the rest of her family, and so they're not gonna take away the last living family member.
I think that's a reasonable take.
Yeah. All right. What do we think is gonna happen next?
I don't know.
How long are we going to be in Zilverin for?
I think probably for the next quarter of the book, because they're halfway through their journey there.
Yeah.
I think they'll be in Zilverin through the third quarter of the book, and they'll return home in the fourth quarter. I don't know who's good and who's bad, and I also think whoever's good and bad in this book doesn't guarantee that they're good and bad in the long arc of history. So I don't want to make any predictions there. I don't think we're going to have Soup again until they're together again in real life, which is how I know that we're going to leave Zilverin in this book. We're not going to stay there until the end because we've done the Dream Soup. It would be redundant to do it again. And I think Callie's a better writer than that.
I think they're going to make it back sooner than that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so maybe for the Soup, it might be sooner.
Because they're already sitting in front of a giant pool of Quicksilver. And
they need Saeris to open it, though.
Yeah.
Right, but they also said it was going to be 24 hours before she opens it. And so
that's true.
They can
just wait there.
Right, exactly. There's okay, we'll just hang out below the forge and wait for the Quicksilver to open and then jump through.
That's a good point.
So I feel like they're going to get back sooner rather than later. And yeah, I also still really curious to see who's good and evil in here.
I'm interested in learning more about what's her name, the other lord that Tal was in love with. Yeah, because I feel like in this quarter of the book we got time with the other two lords, and so I'm hoping we'll get some time with her in the third quarter and kind of understand more about who she is. and if all the lords are good or all the lords are bad, or there's, good and evil within the lords, I'm interested to learn more about that. I'm also interested if we're going to meet the gods again. I know Fisher was like, I've met the gods too many times, I'm good. But I wonder if they'll come back.
I've gave all my thoughts that I can currently give.
Okay. What else are we reading?
All right. I have to call you out on this one, Amanda. And I have Kim to back me up on this. No, don't throw your hands up like that. Lights Out, Kim. Is it a rom-com?
It is more rom-com than not.
Thank you.
Okay. It's not being sold as a rom-com.
No.
Yeah, I know that. And like all the reviews are like, this is a rom-com. There is nothing dark about that book. Even like the death is portrayed funny. There's like only one death in it too. Even like the like dark beady. Oh man, you thought you read Soup? Jesus Christ. This is like BDSM level 10 Soup, like level 10. Even none of that is dark. It's just super spicy, like to like the umpth degree. But it is very funny. I finished it. It's very funny. I really like the characters. Talk about convenience. Like it was just like, oh, now this is going to happen. Sure. Why not? It took a very unexpected turn in the middle. Kim, you know what you're talking about. You text me about that. And even that I was fine with. I really enjoyed the book. Like I enjoyed the book, and I'm struggling to rate it. I'm really struggling to rate it. Like it's nothing worse than a 4. I would like to give it a 5. I really enjoyed it. I'm now questioning then what is a 5 for me. Like if Fourth Wing is a 5, this is not as good as Fourth Wing. You know?
Can I say something controversial and yet brave?
Yeah.
I think in 2026, I might stop rating books.
That's fine.
I think it's like ruining the vibe for me.
I like it. For me, I like it. I think
that's fine, but like I don't rate movies.
What I might do is maybe I think I'd feel better if I like made a tier system so that it's like this is in the tier as Fourth Wing. It's not as good as Fourth Wing, but they're in the same tier. Like just it's like real fun and just stupid.
I think that would also be helpful for me because like I feel like some books are 5 stars but they're A tier, and some books are 5 stars but they're S tier. And I think that would be helpful for me.
Maybe we can at work this week we can create a tier system, and then when we have our
year in review.
Yeah, when we had what were we calling it? Our post Soup clarity. We can we can tier them instead of rate them.
I would like that.
Okay.
I also think, a 5-star is a 5-star in different contexts. And so sometimes, you do need a popcorn read, and that's a 5-star. And sometimes you need high literature, and that's a 5-star. So, I like the tiers idea as well. I also still don't like the post-Soup clarity name because it sounds like post-joining clarity.
Yeah,
I think that's the gag.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Since we just talked about Lights Out, I'm going to add my own thoughts about it because I also just finished it. The first couple of chapters start out dark, and if it had continued like that, then it would be dark. But, I mean, he goes from being like stalker to a golden retriever in like a chapter, and that's like the end of that. And then it turns into how to get away with murder. And it's not my kink. Like, I'm not here for like a quote unquote danger kink or fear kink or whatever it is. I also don't really believe it because like she knows him and they're like partnered up, and so it's like, how are you actually afraid of him? Like, he's not gonna hurt you. But the soup is good and it was fun, and I read it in like a day. So
oh no.
And now I'm in the atmosphere and feeling like crying, just like all of you do. Barbara sucks.
Barbara sucks.
Barbara sucks.
Look, this podcast believes 3 things. Number 1, we love Carrion Swift. Number 2, we hate Barbara. Number 3, everyone deserves a good animal sidekick. I didn't know what the third thing that came out of my mouth was going to be, but I stand by those 3 things.
I agree. Those are good ones.
Number 4, Jennifer Armentrout needs an editor.
Damn it! What were you? Oh my god! Yeah. What were you saying in the beginning? I mean, I was gonna jump on something. You said that they weren't afraid of each other. Shoot, I was gonna say something. That doesn't matter. Amanda, go.
All right. Sock it. Now's not the time. I've been reading. So this weekend.
She's pausing. I'm really trying to remember what you said.
Well, I also started Dan Brown, Secret of Secrets. And I don't think I'm going to get through it, which is sad.
Oh.
So that's that.
Yeah, I started One Dark Window as well. I'm enjoying it. It's very good. I really like Rachel Gillig.
So I finished The Man Who Died Twice, which I'm calling the Friday Murder Club because it's the sequel to the Thursday Murder Club. I also finished The Matzo Ball, which was my first of my Hanukkah reads. Very cute. Really liked that. I read My Sister the Serial Killer, which was for my second to last Goodreads reward. Didn't love it. I've actually owned it for a really long time. I don't remember who told me to buy it. Didn't love it. Then I read Six Scorched Roses, which I read that yesterday, over the course of the last 2 days. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. But I was really interested in the characters. I want to learn more about them. I love when you get to meet gods. I liked him a lot.
Vale.
And apparently they're important in the rest of the series. So I'll go back and read Crowns of Nyaxia 1 and read the whole series eventually.
I mean, to calm your expectations, Vale is in part 2.
Oh, she says in the
I know what she says.
Afterward that they're important.
Yeah.
Are they not important?
He's there. She's absolutely not important.
Oh, okay, whatever. So I'll go back and read that. And then I read Lilith, which is a graphic novel that I bought yesterday thinking that the vibes might be good for my niece. And in the first scene, I was like, oh, I can't give this to a 12-year-old. But it was good. I liked it. I don't need to buy the whole series, but I'll probably read the whole series if I can. Oh my God, Socket. Shut up. And then this morning I started Love Light Farms. So I've got 11 more books to read this year. I'm actually going to try to do 12 and not count the bonus scenes from Quicksilver as a book. Just because
yeah, whatever you need.
Those count. But yeah, I'm close. So Love Light Farms, and then A Court of the Christmas Special, and then Our Infinite Fates is what's on deck.
I remember what I was going to say that Kim said. Oh, she's leaving. I remember what I was going to say that you said, Kim. So you were like, oh, in the beginning he's being a stalker, right? Actually, I want to hear Amanda hear this part too because I'm curious what she would say. Is she back? Okay. So he's
telling my dog to stop yelling.
He's stalking her, right? This isn't a spoiler. This is right in the beginning. So he's stalking her. He finds her. She follows him on this thirsty social media app, right? And she's been doing it for a Howler, right? Killer, actually. And she's been doing it for a really long time, months. She's been on his page, blah 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 blah. And then whatever. Coincidentally, he finds her. And then at one point in the book, she's like, "Wait a minute, he's not stalking me. I'm stalking him. I've been on his page way longer than he's been actually stalking me." And I really like that. I thought that was a really cool flip, where she's not wrong. She actually is the stalker. So, I don't know if I'd recommend it to you though.
No, it's not Amanda's book.
Yeah, I really don't think I'd recommend it to you.
I don't think I could read it this year, even if I wanted to.
I don't know. There's this one scene where I'm like, I really don't want Amanda to read this.
It's holiday rom-coms from here on out. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
We're going to alternate between Hanukkah and Christmas. I've got a bunch to read. I did buy, what did I buy yesterday? Oh, at Ripped Bodice, I bought the first book of the Villains and Virtues series.
Nice.
Because they had a really pretty paperback with a sprayed edge, and I want to reward companies for making me paperbacks with sprayed edges, because I won't read a hardcover. Yeah,
No,
I'm
I've
excited.
been wanting to read that book. Nice. All right, what's our homework?
Our homework is to read chapters 26 through 39. That means stop when you see chapter 40. I'd like to give myself like a little pat on the back for like the page breaks. Like the first section was exactly 25%. This section was exactly 50%. So hopefully this will be exactly 75%. I feel like I did a good job with that.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for
All
watching.
right. Bye.
Bye.